We are live. Let's see. Get rid of that. And there we go. Sinfuls is on board. James Franklin is on board. Morning, James. Let's see. And Andrew, hey, been watching you for a few months. Good videos, topics others don't talk about, straight to the point. Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate that. Andrew CJ actually scrambling around on Facebook Marketplace right now, looking for accommodations for my first trip to Cebu in 2 weeks. That's cool. So we got two people on here now. Had a good week this week, actually. We've had a lot, actually the past 2 or 3 weeks, we've actually had a lot of good subjects up and stuff like that. And you guys always give me the subject matter pretty much, which is good. So let's see who we got. We got 8 people on here now. Let's see who we got on here now. We got 8 people so far. We're gonna wait till we move up a little bit. We'll keep on talking though. Michael's on board. There we go. There's Michael. Gavin Hargrave. How you doing, Gavin? Welcome aboard. Let's see. Let's see who else we got on here. If you guys can start asking questions whenever you feel like it, or we can have open night tonight, with the exception of politics. We usually stay off politics. We'll talk a little bit about politics, but we won't deeply get into it. Good evening from Baguio. What's the temperature up there right now? Breakfast Squad, hello. Andrew CJ, internet speeds my main concern. Andrew, our internet speeds are pretty fast here. The problem here is that sometimes in my area it goes down a lot. And we've been having that problem lately. For a whole year we didn't have any problems, and all of a sudden we started having major concerns. But it's back to normal again, so I don't know what's going on. So hopefully it'll stay that way. TLM says, good evening. Been a while since I've watched your live stream. Let's see. Thomas John, howdy. Justin's on board. Justin's going to be coming home here in about a month. Sinful says, Bruce, have things settled down from the earthquake? Was there an earthquake today or the other day, Sinful? Because usually I get a warning for that. I didn't get a warning for that one. Steven 2020 says, hi, Steve. Thank you again for your valuable info. TLM Live. Sally Beth Reyes says, good evening from Hong Kong. How you doing, Sally Beth? Good to have some girls on here. Ben Gibson, hello from Houston, Texas. Brooke Snyder, hello from Airport, Steve-O. Brooke, make sure you get back here safe, man. You know we want you back here. So Brooke's on board. TLM, been adjusting to my new home here in the Philippines. Sinful says, no, that big one a while back. Okay. Breakfast Squad, what's your top 2 PI banks you'd recommend for someone living in the U.S. and going back and forth? I'd say BDO, man. You know, a lot of the banks here I don't like because there's a lot of problems with the ATMs lately. I'll just say this. I would just go with BDO. China Bank is not a Chinese bank, okay? And it's better than BDO if you want to go with that bank too, okay? So a lot of people think that China Bank is Chinese owned. It's not. It's Filipino Chinese people, and a lot of Filipinos have their accounts there too. Michael Ellis' earthquake was at the end of July. Okay. Anthony Moody, dude, you're half an hour early. Yes, I am. We always start up a half an hour early to get the show rolling, and then by 10 o'clock, you know, we're usually up to par. We're at 31 people already, so we're doing pretty good. But I mean, I always start early. I have to put a time on there. If I started at 10 o'clock, it would take us a half an hour to wind up to full speed. So, but lately we've been doing really good because everybody's expecting to come on here about the same time now, even though I put 10 o'clock. Andrew CJ, earthquake here in Bali a few days ago. Russell Swats, hi Steve. Sally Beth Reyes, I love watching your vlog. Thanks, Sally Beth, I appreciate it. Thomas John just finished 4 weeks in Cebu, headed to Davao on Monday. Jeeves Winston says, morning Steve, leaves are starting to run up here in Vermont already. You ever miss the seasons? should send you some maple syrup. May lure you back. Had some apple fries with ice cream and amber syrup. That sounds good, man. Yeah, I miss the seasons. I do. I miss the fall. I miss the crisp air, the clean air. I do miss that. You know, I miss a little bit of winter too now. Not so much the snow though. Delaware Surf says, thanks for the steer on attorney and also Pacific Cross, Steve. No problem, man. That attorney is a great attorney, by the way. Very reasonable. So if you guys need an attorney, we have an attorney for you. I have an allergy tonight, so you're going to have to kind of bear with me, guys. TLM, is November the best time to go to Boracay since the weather is unpredictable now? I would say December, January, February, March, April. Those are the months you want to go. Sinful says that is who I deal with is BDO and China Bank. Yeah, those are the two banks I would recommend. At first I never thought I'd recommend China Bank, but I've been using their ATMs over the BDO ones because the BDO ones are always empty, always. Lazy Larry says, "Hello, Stephen. How you doing, Lazy Larry?" Jeeves Winston says they have big seasonal changes like the woods up here. TLM says going to check out Baguio next week. Hopefully the weather is good and no landslides. William says, "Gee." Randall Crotty says, "Do you know how long you can be out of country with the SRV visa?" You can be out as long as you want. You know, as long as you pay your yearly dues, or even if you don't pay it and you pay it when you come back, you're all set. You can talk to Mary Rose about that, and she'll tell you about that. But you can be out of the country as long as you want. So no issues. Dean Thompson in the Philippines is Dean. Hi Steve, Sinful's in the gang. There we go. So it's good to have the gang on here too. We have a good amount of our people that are in our group on here right now. So that's nice to always have. William says, "Good morning, Ben Gibson. My first live of yours, Steve." There we go. Thanks, Ben. Welcome aboard. Nard says, "What's your prediction on US dollar versus the peso?" I think it's going to kind of hover around 56, 55, 57, around there. I know people are predicting for it to go higher, and I talked about that before. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. I don't see that happening, to be honest with you. But it could. It could. People are predicting it will go higher. Bruce says it's 63 degrees in Baguio right now. That's a nice temperature, man. I wish it was 63 degrees out here. Sinful says, "Hi, Dean. Edward Hilt. Hello from Baccalaureate City. Ben Gibson. I'm about to hit the sack, though. Been up all night." Okay, Ben. Join us another time, man. We're always on. We're usually on here every Saturday night. Probably once a month I'm off. Okay? Sometimes twice a month I'm off. But usually at least once every 2 weeks I'm on. Okay? But because of one thing or another, either it's the internet or I'm out somewhere. Thomas John says, "You ever do any motorbike rentals, monthly cost?" I'm not sure what Pax rents out his motorcycle. If you get back to me and send me an email at Steven5975, I will answer that for you. I will ask Pax. Just ask me to ask Pax what he'll rent his motorbike for. I'll give you a price that way. Okay? So Steven5975 at yahoo.com. Ben Gibson says, "I'm so ready for fall." Sinful says, "The best time is from January through April for Boracay." Yes. Let's see. JC Watts says, dropped in to say hi from Nashville, Tennessee. How you doing, JC? Good to see you on here. Sinful says, "China Bank ATM is great and higher limits per transaction." I'm going to have to try that out. That's interesting. Dickie Spaz says, "Good morning, Steve. My bride is flying from LAX to Bago, Negro Occidental, and this coming Thursday, taking her mom home after an extended 3-year visit due to pizza virus." Okay. Michael L says, "Robert Speeda's Westpac WX YouTube channel gives good weather information for the Philippines." Andrew CJ, "How do you get to Baguio from Manila?" You just drive up, so you can take buses too. It's pretty far though. Baguio Squad, "Can you access the BDO app and website from the US?" That's a good question. I would say you probably could. Just use a VPN, if it doesn't work. I was trying something today in the US and it wouldn't let me get in there because I was out of the country. I flicked on my VPN and it worked. So, but that wasn't for the BDO, it was something else. So just FYI. But it usually works with a VPN. Okay. Let's see. Michael says, "Andrew CJ, drive or bus, no flights available." No, there's no flights to Baguio. Russell Swats, "Is it possible to live a single life in the Philippines? What happens if I fall sick?" Well, Russell, this is a good question. I like this question. If you're a member of our group, okay, we do have guys that are single here. They don't have actually both of them don't have girlfriends as of now. One doesn't want to have a girlfriend, and they give us all the information that they want to do to take care of their things if they get sick or they pass away or something, and we will take care of that according to what they ask. You know, we just ask that you leave enough money to take care of everything, and we'll take care of whether it's a funeral, you want to get buried over here, or what have you. If you're part of our community and you want us to contact somebody back home, we'll do that. You know, we'll do whatever you want us to do. You know, we don't expect anything. We just expect, you know, the stuff that is needed to take care of all that stuff. So, if you do that, we'll be fine. You know. So, let's see, breakfast squad, I believe so, but you have to be here to get it set up. Let's see, Justin in Arkansas says, problem I had with BDO is they want to send code to Philippine phone, which does not work in US. Okay, I got you, Justin. So there's your answer right there. Jeeves Wilson says, do you have big seasonal changes there other than monsoon? Yes, we go from sunny almost 20, you know, all day long to rain half the day. The rest of the, you know, it's like 2 seasons you have, wet and dry. And that's about the 2 seasons we have here. Let's see, can you always grow stuff throughout the year? Kinda, yes. During the rainy season, stuff doesn't grow good because it rains way too much. I would say grow it. I'm not sure. You'd have to check up on the growing season. I'm sure there's a set growing season, but I noticed that they grow corn here, and the corn doesn't grow good during the rainy season because it needs sun. So you should grow that during the dry season and just water it every day. Steve P says, hey Steve, flying there next week to see my girlfriend Baguio and Palawan this trip. There we go. Ben Gibson says, okay, will do. Sounds good. We got 63 people, 22 thumbs up. Thanks, guys. Andrew CJ says, Baguio cost-wise, compared to Manila or Cebu? I'm not really sure, guys. I hear Baguio is a bit more expensive from some people, but there's not a lot of expats up there. I hear there are some, but there's not many. You would think there would be. Sinful's put the email there if you guys need to contact me, Steven5975@yahoo.com. Andrew CJ, looks so pretty there. Sai says, house being closed on this week, getting ready from Syracuse, New York. There you go, Sai. Russell Swat says, Wise has given me a conversion rate of 55.50 pesos. I think it's the highest I've ever got. That's not that bad. You know, I mean, I'm using Remitly and stuff like that, and they do pretty good for me too. Tom Pear says, heading out to garage to listen this morning. Cannot comment on with iPhone. My neighbor is heading to Cebu and Mindanao next month for a month. Just turned him onto your channel. Thanks, Tom. I appreciate that. Tell him to watch my older stuff too. Tell him to go back to my older stuff. Watch one of those every once in a while too, because I think he'll learn a lot off of that. Because the newest stuff is a little bit different than the older stuff. A lot of the older stuff is more learning stuff. Okay, so I mean, not to say that we don't do learning stuff on here now. We still do. Sinful says about 4-hour drive from Manila to Baguio on the X-Way. Justin in Arkansas says, I use Manila VPN and could not access my BDO account on my Philippine phone or BDO app. Okay, that's good to know. Because sometimes with the VPN you can do it. But yeah, BDO is kind of funky with their stuff. I don't know. Their ATMs lately have been crashing and burning. You cannot get on their ATMs that good. Today I went to about 6 ATMs, and that was in Alabang too, which is a surprise. And most of their ATMs are empty, and it's like that constantly here now. That the ATMs are always empty or out of order, and it's not just BDO either anymore. Randy Bryant says, hi Steve, I bet you don't miss the winters. I know I won't miss the snow and the cold in Indiana. You know, on a couple nights before I left, it was a big snowstorm, and I didn't have my car anymore. And the guys were asking me to shovel my part of the driveway. I told them, I said, I don't have a car. I'm leaving. You know, and it was the best feeling ever, not having to get out there and shovel. And I didn't care, you know what I mean? And they just wanted it because they wanted it shoveled because they were probably going to be parking in that spot because it was the best spot out there. I said, you guys can take it if you want to shovel it. Have at it. You know, Lazy Larry says, Sinfuls, I I did. As soon as I signed on. Jeeves Winston says the Texas Roadhouse meetup looked like a good time. That was a great video. Thanks, Jeeves. It was a great time. We have a great bunch of guys that really get along. Almost everybody gets along really, really well, and we try really hard at making it work. You know what I mean? Because it's more like family, and we know sometimes we have people that they're all different, and we accept that. You know what I mean? It's a good thing. Randy Bryant, my wife and I retired, but we still have 9 and 14-year-old. What's a good area to raise children? Wow, good area to raise children. That's a tough one. I would say Tracy Martires is a good place to raise children. I mean, we have 3 kids here, and they do well here. I want to get back to the Texas Roadhouse meetup, though. We had somebody write and was commenting about the 2 people that we kicked out over the past year or whatever, and they were commenting about that. And I usually don't comment too much about that, but this guy was trashing me for kicking people out, and sometimes you have to do that, comment mix in, and some people just do the wrong thing sometimes, and that's why those people got kicked out. So I mean, I'm not going to get into it any more than that. I'm just going to say one of them kind of kicked himself out, and the other one, we gave him a second chance, and he wrecked it really quick. So that's the end of that. I'm not going to get into that anymore. Peter says, please keep doing this. I'm regularly watching your videos, and I learned a lot watching from Los Angeles. Thanks, man. Sinful says, Lazy Larry Lee, thanks. Ben Hill, what would $1,000 a month living in Cebu look like? Well, I don't live in Cebu. I really can't comment about Cebu. $1,000 around here, you can live here on, but you're not going to live good. Most people when they retire, they want to retire, and they want to retire decent. And I tell people this isn't a race to the bottom. It's more of a race to the top. You want to try to find a place that fits you. $1,000 a month, you can come here and live. I don't think living in Cebu on $1,000 a month is a good amount. But I mean, you could. Some of the vloggers are going to tell you, hey, it's great, because they're used to living a certain lifestyle here, and it's not a decent lifestyle. So it depends on who you ask. I don't live a fantastic life here, but I live a happy life here, and I live on more. But I mean, 1,000 here would be kind of hard. So, and 1,000 there, I would imagine, would be just as hard. Let's see, a foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines says, Steve, can you advise vloggers that you register your YouTube and PI for taxation in the U.S.? Some say no. I don't even get into that with other vloggers. I saw a vlogger the other day talking about taxation, and he pays his tax over there. The reason may be because he's on a tourist visa. There's all these extenuating circumstances here that a lot of people, you need to go sit down with an attorney with. I'm on the SRRV. I pay Social Security taxes back home, but I pay my taxes over here. Okay, so just FYI. And I have my taxes filled out by H&R Block. And I told them I live over here. So they says, well, then you pay your taxes over there. And, over here, you're going to pay it. You still have to report it. So I was like, okay. I had to report it, but I didn't have to pay. But I do pay in the Philippines because I have a BIR account. Okay. So Michael L. says, would BDO app spoof GPS as well as VPN if using phone? Let's see. Lazy Larry says, sinful is not a problem. I have not always enjoyed Steven's live stream. Sinful's Lazy Larry Lee, good to hear. Yes, good chat sessions. Dean Thompson in the Philippines says, Jeeves, had a great time at Texas Roadhouse. We had an awesome time at Texas Roadhouse, guys. I mean, I think that was our best, not our best thing. We had a great time down in Batangas, and I love that more. But it was the best and biggest group that we've had yet. And I was really, really happy for that. Although we had a big group over at the Villa Feliciana, the swimming pools and stuff like that. And we had a great time over there. We are going to have some getaways down in Batangas with overnight stays probably. And we may need to have like 1 or 2 vans or whatever. And it's going to be a bit more costly because we have to cover the vans. The vans have to come back and pick us up or stay overnight. But we also are going to have an ATV getaway too, where we can drive on ATVs all day. So we have a lot of stuff coming up, guys. For for the new guys that are planning on joining our group or whatever, and for the guys that are already in. So, Steve P, how far are you from Tagaytay, Steve? I am considering that place to locate to, as I prefer not super hot and humid. Tagaytay gets hot and humid during the day, believe it or not, some days, but it's cooler than other locations during the day. Tagaytay is not that far. It's about maybe 30, 40 minutes away. It's not that far of a drive from me. It's pretty quick. Paul says, Steve P, that is nice area, Steve. Definitely cool at night. Yes, it is. Let's see, Ben Gibson. Oh wow, they have Texas Roadhouse there. You know what? I was at the Alabang Town Center today, and they have just about everything there. They have Outback Steakhouse. They have Chili's. They have Subway. They have a whole bunch of stuff. They have a lot of stores. It's a beautiful mall. They get cats all over the place there, but they're really nice, friendly cats. They're well kept by a veterinarian. They feed them. They're clean, and they're very affectionate cats there. All the people that go there pat the cats because they're so clean. They're not a typical Filipino cat. They really take care of them, and I was very surprised at how well taken care of the animals are there. Let's see. Ben Gibson says, Edward Hilt says, one bad seed can make the whole bunch look bad. Yes, definitely. And that's we had two situations like that, but like I said, I don't get into that too much. I mean, it's done, it's over, and there's no sense in rehashing it. Sinful's the only reason why I brought it up again was because of that person that wrote saying, I understand what kind of group you are because you kicked two people out. You should be tolerant of everybody, but he didn't understand what we had gone through. So Russell Swat says, yep, stay away from negative people. Well, that we learned. And Lazy Larry Lee, the only time I had trouble with Stephen was when he was talking about the sweet spot budget, and that was because I had a different definition of a budget. Now, I can understand, Larry, I can understand that because I consider my budget everything that comes into my house. And then I budget that out. You know what I mean? So that's the way I look at it. And I think I kind of explained that in one of those videos. Tony P, Steve P, distance is roughly 24 kilometers. Yeah, it's not too far. Dari says, hey Steve, everyone, nice to see the regular Saturday gang. Anders says, hello from Malmo, Sweden. That's where my family was from too, Malmo. In fact, I've seen a couple of the headstones out there in Malmo with my family's name out there. Lulu55, Randy Bryant, Iloilo City, cleanest city in the country, highest quality of life. Mama-san, gosh, I want to retire decent. I would love to stay in row house city. Ken Roch says, hi from Cebu province. Hope you are doing well. Russell Swat says, Lulu 55. Yes, so I heard. Mama-san says, double tax. Goodness. No. Mama-san, you're misunderstanding me because I don't get double taxed on my YouTube. I get taxed once. I pay the tax here in the Philippines. The other one is the Social Security tax. So it's not really, I guess you could call it a double tax, but it's really not. I'm not paying two income taxes. I'm paying a Social Security tax, which everyone pays in the United States on top of their other taxes. Lazy Larry Lee says, my definition was what I was going to spend and did not include what I would save. Yeah, I always include what to save too, because I think that's good to show on there. And it helps explain to people what we do, because I believe in saving for, I wanted to show the guys that out of the that sweet spot budget, that we wanted to show them that they need to save for their 70s, because you're going to need money for sickness, illness, higher insurance, all that stuff when you get older. Dari says it's not double tax. Pay attention. Mike and Micah, if I'll be in the Philippines and will be pulling from my pension per month, it's post-tax, right? And if it's less than the threshold, can I get refunds, right? If you're still paying taxes back in the U.S., it's still, it's still the same unless you're you're making income like on a YouTube channel. I think that's what you're getting at, Mike and Micah. I mean, I'm not a tax specialist, so I don't like to talk about taxes on the channel really. I'm just telling you what I do, you know. Lulu 55, Russell Swats, after 8 years, Cavite near Steve's place, we moved 2 months ago. Let's see, Michael L. There is a tax treaty between the states and the Philippines. Therefore, you report to both. Yes. However, only pay tax to one. See? Yes. But you do still have to pay your Social Security tax because you have to report your tax in the U.S. So if you're working, you still pay the Social Security because that's what they took out of me because it shows it on my thing. Runs with Knives says, hello, Steve. How you doing? Let's see. Russell Swat says, Lulu 55, how is dating scene in Iloilo? I have no intention of marrying again, never. Dari says, Michael, exactly. Steve just mentioned that. Randy Bryant, I am interested in SRV visa. Do I need to be retired from the military? No. Or will just being a veteran keep me from paying the $20,000? I am service-connected veteran. As long as you're over 50, okay, and you have more than $1,000 a month from a pension, okay, you'll be good. All right, so then you'll be all set. Ben Gibson, wow. And if you need some help with that, Randy, you can email me at steven5975@yahoo.com, and I'll hook you up with Mary Rose. And also, I'll send you. Ask me for my phone number, and I'll send you my phone number. We can talk if you need some questions answered on that. I can. It's easier to talk to people on the phone about that. I can answer everything for you. Ben Gibson, wow, all those American restaurants. Yes, there's a lot here. Yep, DQ, everything. Cinnabon, Taco Bell. I mean, I was there tonight, so I just got back, actually. I just walked in the door. Alice Vlogs in Wonderlands. Hello, host. Good evening. How you doing, Alice? Lulu 55. Russell Swats, decent province girls. No problem to find girls. Runs with Knives says, New Englander living on Minnesota ATM. Looking to move there in the next few years. There you go. Russell Swats, Lulu 55, 3 thumbs up. Dari says, Randy, my understanding is you need to have that much in the Philippine bank, and it's 15K, I thought. Over here for the visa for military guys with an honorable discharge, it's $1,500. Okay, and it's $1,400 for the application fee. I think that's what you're talking about. Diamonds and Legends switched to Remitly, and so much easier than Western. Yes, it is. Remitly is really, really nice. I like the way it works too. Hearing Western Union offices in Philippines getting ridiculous with requirements to pick up money. Yes, that's happening too. And also they switched from Philippine people answering the phones, which used to be better off actually, and they switched to Pakistan. So when you call up now, you get some Pakistani guy, and the guy, I've had talked about three guys on there, and they're all really, really nasty on there. So I just totally switched. Big Time, and I used to like Western Union, if you remember. Big Time 911 says, is there a VFW or American Legion near you, like Angeles or Subic? No, not near me, but you know something, if somebody wanted to form one here, I'm sure we could, because we have more than enough people to have one. You know, we have more than enough people to have one here. Easily, we could open one up. Ben Gibson, okay, thanks for all your videos and work, Steve. Hope you have a great evening. Let me get back to the VFW, though. I'm not one that's going to open up something like that. I've had several people ask me and say that'd be great to open up something like that, because a lot of the guys that are in our group are ex-military, but some of them aren't. So I don't think it'd be fair to them. And our group is not all about military. Although we help mostly military people, we also help non-military people get into this group too. So I just want people to be aware of that. Ben Gibson, okay, thanks for your videos, great work. Hope you have a great evening. Thanks, man. Paul Osterhout says, Uncle Paul checking in from Djibouti. Soon back in Abra. Toucan reviews, overviews, and bonuses. Always appreciate your videos and information. Thanks for all your effort. Thanks, man. Big Time 911 says, do you have a moto or car? No. We have a rental that we use. We have Pax. We rent Pax's car, and he drives us everywhere. What do you think of Suzuki Multicab? I mean, to each his own. Because we have a guy here he just bought an electric vehicle here and a three-wheeler, and he hasn't been using it since he bought it. So I think he's going to sooner or later. But it, I think the best thing is to just have a scooter or buy a car. I mean, we have people in the group that just bought cars and they're more mobile. They feel like more free having that vehicle and stuff like that. And it does open up a lot of doors to you to have your own car. But I've honestly never needed one because for what I'm going to pay for a car payment and for the gas and everything and the repairs, I can just pay PAX and I get a driver out of it. And he makes a little bit of money out of it, which is great, and he's thankful for having a job. And it works out really good. See, Nardo Q says, after my stocks, AMC, GME squeezes, I'll buy house and lot in New Valley, Santa Rosa. That's a nice area. That's the area where Sinfuls lives. Let's see, Floyd Bradshaw, hello, I just found out about your channel from Tom. Okay, thanks, man. Sinful says, Ben Gibson, if you want Ben, you would never have to eat Filipino. Ha ha ha. Lazy Larry Lee says, welcome at Floyd Bradshaw. Steve P says, Steve, for the SRV, what if the monthly income isn't from pension but another source? It has to be from a pension, okay? That doesn't ban you from getting the SRV. It just means you're going to have to pay more for the down payment. So I want to be clear on that because then you have to put down money. You can talk to Mary Rose about the amounts and she'll fill you in because for each person it's different. Lloyd White, the dollars would also include something for your girlfriend's assistance. Thanks. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about, Lloyd. I think I got lost there. I must have skipped by the other one. Russell Swat, smash the like button. Sinfuls, we have over 100 watchers, but only 39 thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up, folks. There we go. We're up to 49 now. Mama San says, love Remitly, but I love coins. PH as well. Dari says, Sin, like button activated. LOL. Dean Thompson in the Philippines says, Sinful's doing a great job. Sinful's always does a great job, And Sinful says, thanks, Dean. Deadbug Doug says, do you think they will ever quit the mask mandate? That's a good question. It seems like no, but I know they will someday, probably. I've been watching you, Geo, and the old dog's new tricks. They're very helpful. Thanks, man. Sinful says, Nard OQ, great area. That's where I'm from. I love it here. Ben Gibson says, haha, thanks, Sinfuls. I actually love a lot of Filipino style food, even lots of rice. Haha, but nice to have some American stuff from time to time. We have plenty of American food in this area, and that's why I tell people the great thing about living here is it's all around us. We can travel places. We're in the middle of everything, and that's the greatest part of living where we live. And I think Sinfuls and all the other guys here will tell you the same thing. We're in a great spot here, and we're near Manila, and that's the best part. Because I love going to Manila, believe it or not. I love being able to go to the VA. I love being close to the embassy. I love being close to the airport in case I have to get out of here in an emergency or something. So it has its benefits of living here, and I can always fly to another island if I want to. It's not that far. Let's see, I can go to Mindoro. I can jump on a flight out of Manila, and it's an hour away. Let's see. Dickie Spaz says, no gas vehicles to be sold in California after 2035. Yeah, good luck with that one. I agree with you, Dickie, on that. In Massachusetts, too, I think is going the same way, I heard. Paul Osterhout says, Sinfuls, the moderator, the man, the myth, the legend. Great job, sir. Let's see, Lazy Larry Lee says, I would not want a car in the Philippines, but a motorcycle, something that I would consider. I kind of agree with that. I'm kind of on the same page with you on that. I actually believe in not even having that. Greg Medborn says, when AMC stock does squeeze, I'll have a house to right next to the other poster who said that. I'm holding 850 shares, bought 500 shares at 550, and bought several in the 40-50 range. Dari says, Dickie, that'll never work. It's another political statement to garner votes. Narc OQ says, Sinfuls are Pinoy. Paul Gibson says, your Vermeer girl with the pearl earring, did you buy her before or after you saw the movie? I actually didn't buy it. I painted it, I did a video on it actually. If you go back in my videos, I talk about it. Um, I spent 3 months on that, and I actually enjoyed doing it. It sits here right over my kitchen table here. You can kind of see it right there, you know. But I actually enjoyed doing that, and I used to paint duck decoys, and I always wanted to do the girl with the pearl earring, and I was able to do it. And it was one of the things I always said, before I die, I'm going to paint that painting. And a lot of people don't understand that that's actually a paint by number, okay? And a lot of people don't understand, when you buy a paint by number, it's not meant to be actually painted by numbers. It's actually meant to be blended and stuff like that, and you can get it to look just like the original too. And I was in this doctor's office one time, and he had what looked like a print of a Vermeer outside. And I'm standing out there looking. I said, "Man, that's a beautiful remake of the girl with the pearl earring." And he was the one that really got me into it. And he told me how he did it. He spent about 10 minutes there talking to me, telling me how he mixed the colors and stuff from a paint by numbers painting. And afterwards, I was like, "That's a paint by numbers." I was really shocked by that, because it was blend. It looked exactly like the original. It was blended and everything, and that's what he did. He did a paint by number one. Let's see. Russell Swat says, "I started buying Apple now and going to average for the next 2 years when I leave it there for the next 10 years. I'm actually thinking about buying some more Apple too. I'm still in Tesla. I'm out of ARC, but I think I'm going to buy again because it's almost at the bottom. Lloyd White says, "Sorry you missed my comments. If I sent the money in advance, could you lock me in a 6-month lease before arrival?" Lloyd, if you want to do something like that, you need to call me and we could chat about it. We don't have a lot available right now. I can talk to you about what is available. We do have some available, like over at Brownwood and stuff like that, but they're a little bit on the expensive side. And we have a waiting list right now, actually. But we will have more available, and we're keeping our ears to the ground to find out more. But give me a yell. If you need my phone number, email me at steven5975@yahoo.com. I think we talked before, but I'm not sure. I talked to a lot of people, and I don't remember names. So Randy Bryant says, "Does VA disability count as pension if you are total and permanent?" It should, but you'd have to run that by Mary Rose, okay? I think they will. As you Steve P says, "I love garlic rice and Bangus for breakfast. I could eat that every day." Seems like everybody in my family does also. Lazy Larry Lee says, "Sinfuls, what is wrong with me?" LMAO. Okay. Ben Gibson says, "That's really great to know, Steve, that area." Greg Medborn says, "Can you get a 49cc small scooter easily, and does that need to be licensed here in the States? No license required." Greg, I see people riding those. You can't ride them on the big main roads, but you can ride them on the back roads, I guess, according to what my neighbor was saying. Because I just asked my neighbor about that, and he says you just can't ride them on the major highways. Now, highways is the main roads pretty much. They don't mean like highways like we have back home. So just be aware of that. But on the back roads, yeah, you could ride them. Sinful says, "Lazy Larry Lee, for me, having my own vehicle is worth the headache. Enjoy my freedom to go where I want." Yeah, Sinful is actually, he loves riding around because he has the big trucks and stuff like that. I can see why he enjoys it, because he's got some nice vehicles, But for me, I when I left and I got rid of my car, I actually felt good about getting rid of my car. I had a nice car too. I had a really beautiful Toyota Corolla with all the bells and whistles and everything like that, and it was brand spanking new. It was like 2 years old, and I love that car. But when I got rid of it and I realized how much the payments were and how much it was costing me in insurance, I'm glad that I don't have that headache anymore over here. Russell Swat says, "Stocks might drop over the next 6 months." Well, they've already dropped already, so good time to pick them up cheap. Yeah, if they drop more, which is what they're saying, and they're talking about a major drop this time, so I don't know. I'm hoping not, because Tesla would drop down even more, but it'll always come back. Nardo Q says, "Sinfuls, I was born and raised there in the Philippines and living in the U.S. for 25 years because of Puppet Biden. I want to go back." See, Michael L says, my hypothesis is that the California electric car bill was to bribe Tesla into moving back to California from Texas. I don't think they'd move. They would do that though. You know, I don't think they would do that. Sammy Chavez says, "Kuya Larry, hi, we miss you in my stream earlier. Ha ha ha." Brooke Schneider says, drove both car and scooter for the last 3 months. Much prefer the scooter, super cheap to operate, no traffic jams. Bruce says, wow, that painting is great. Thanks, man. Gary Burkhart, thanks for the sub, Steve. I'd rather owe you for it than beat you out of it. Okay, thanks, man. Um, yeah, Gary, they didn't have any lettuce or tomatoes, just FYI. So, you know, but I had Pax run it in for you. Terry Phillipson says, hey Steve, found a great apartment in Silang, very similar to the one you showed me. We got this one for 7,000 pesos, so very happy with that. We will keep in touch. Okay, no problem, Terry. Keep in touch with me and make sure you ask me to get you on the list. I'm not sure if I got you on my list to give you a call and stuff like that, because my head's been spinning from all the people that have been joining and stuff like that this past week. So I'm not sure if I got you on my list, Terry. So let me know. You send me an email with your phone number and then your email address, and ask and right in there. I want to get on your list to be notified of any get-togethers and stuff. I'm not sure if you're on there already or not. Just remind me just in case. Lazy Larry Lee, I was probably sleeping. Sammy Chavez says, it's okay, Kuya Larry, he. Paul Osterhout says, love my pork tocino and lagog for rice for breakfast. James Franklin says, are you able to find most of your meds not covered by VA easily? Yes. I heard it's a constant search. You know, James, there are times when you can find like bits, and you have to kind of piecemeal it together sometimes for some medicines. It depends what you're on. I notice skin medicines are kind of hard. I've actually given up on buying most of my skin medications, and I've actually done better with Nivea, and the Nivea is actually healing it better than the medicines were, and it's saving me about $140 in medications. So when I get it actually helps me better. So sometimes the medications and stuff over here that they give you are not that great, because I tried them and they just didn't work. Sinful says, Lazy Larry Lee, the choice is really dependent on the area you're living also. My area in Santa Rosa is really decent in regards to traffic. And that's the difference. Where you live makes a substantial difference. If you live in General Trias, the traffic is still horrendous. Tracy Martinez is kind of coming, it varies day to day. Sinful says, Randy Bryant, yes, VA disabilities is good to go. So see, Sinful says, no, don't blame you. Lazy Larry Lee, Sinful's, I would want the bike for short trips, but for longer trips, I would leave the driving to someone else. Runs with Knives is Sinful's, good to know. I'm 100% PNT myself. Yeah, they will accept it. I'm pretty sure they've taken it from other people. I don't deal with that aspect. I mean, Mary Rose deals with that for the most part. Sometimes we talk about it. Some of the ones I know, but I forget whether she had taken it. And now Sinful says, yes, they do. So James Franklin says, good stocks are tickers, SQM and ALB and IMO. Let's see. Mark A, do they have American style steaks? Yes. Even at the all you can eat steakhouse. Over at the SM Dasmarinas. Dan Van Hoya is on board. Greetings from Hong Kong, Steve. Thanks again for your hospitality during my stay in Tagaytay. Well, hopefully, Dan, you come back. Stephen Day says, good evening, good morning, crew. Some forecasts think there will be a regular September drop and a big increase before the holidays. Well, let's hope so. Diamonds and Legends says, not to be too political here, but the other day, Biden said MAGA supporters are a threat to democracy. That told me all I need to know about the future of America. No sitting president should be saying stuff like that about voters. That's sick. Sinful says, Paul Ostau, love the chicken tocino, so good. Alice Vlogs in Wonderlands. She puts the YouTube symbol there. Randy Bryant says, are there enough brownouts that could impede owning an electric car? Good question. No. Not here in this area, no. Some areas do have constant brownouts daily, so just be aware of that. So you may want to check into your area. But in this area, no. Andrew CJ's. Some say Nasdaq won't reach new all-time high for 5 to 10 years. Well, I hope that's not true. Sinful says runs with knives. You're good then, as certainly over the 1K, so your VA alone is enough to qualify. Yeah, as long as you got that 1K and a pension, and your VA disability pension should count because it is a disability pension. Okay, but I think they need that on the paper. I'm not sure, but I know that I'm pretty sure they counted that for other guys. Runs with knives, Sinfuls. I should be good with that and Social Security in a few years. Sinfuls. Yes, Mary Rose had told me that is a good source, the VA. Okay. Nard OQ, the U.S. stock market is a Ponzi scheme. Seems that way lately. Element 464. How far are you from LRT EXT last station? You're talking about the buses? The buses are right down the street here. I can go out and catch a bus 2 blocks away. And we get the jeepneys right up at the top of the hill here. I want to say something about Mary Rose. I see her almost weekly, or at least every other week now, because we're always bringing people in there. If anybody ever needs any questions answered or something like that, if I can't answer it, I'll have her answer it myself if you send me an email. Andrew CJ, what's the cost of a high gig mobile plane? Mobile plane average? I'm not sure what you're talking about. High gig mobile. I don't know. Mark Forsyth, be careful. We bought a car and they wanted a deposit prior to getting the car to review. The deposit is their commission and not part of the payment, so if it's damaged or incorrect, you lose it. Craig Jordan says, the Philippine Info Channel, does your city have traffic controls like stoplights and four-way stop signs? Actually, Craig, we just put in stoplights here, and it's actually, they haven't set them right yet, so they're kind of incorrect, but it's starting to work. I think they're going to adjust them, because one way, the traffic was all backed up. But yes, they're starting to put up stuff like that. It's starting to get more commonplace throughout the Philippines. And it's happening more and more, which is great. It's starting to get more like the United States in that respect as far as better traffic control. Thomas John says, do you enjoy eating durian? I've never had it. I don't even know what durian is. Dear Minhoy, same sinfuls. Greg Medborn says, best time to get in and out and put dollars in stocks, January, February, when Europe don't have the funds to pay for heat because the massive price increase has already happened. Fear will drive stocks down massively. I'm thinking you're probably right on that. I think there's a lot coming. LRT extension, last station. I'm not sure where the last station is, but the buses come down here. I think they might even go all the way out to Tanza, but I'm not sure. The bus that we get on goes directly to Tracy Martirez and stops here, but they might have other ones that go further out, because from the PITX is where the buses start, and they come this way, and then they turn around and go back. So let's see. Andrew CJ, I have 10 gigs for 1K PH a month postpaid. Okay, he's talking about the phones then. Okay. Andrew CJ, sorry about that. Phone plan need about 20 plus gig. Andrew, if you buy a phone plan here from Smart, let me just say this. I got 50 gigs that don't expire. You can buy it. It's called Magic Data on here, and it's really, really good. And when you put the app on there for Smart, you can buy it on there. You have to look around. It's called Magic Data. When you put that on there, it's really, really cheap. And man, it never expires, so it's good having that, you know. Sinful says probably about 2K or so then. Sinful's durian is a stinky fruit. I mean stinky. No, I'm not eating that stuff then. You know me, Sinful. Most of the Filipino food, I don't even eat that stuff. I'm a very American food type person. Andrew CJ, thanks. Just run out. Michael L. Durian is gross and smelly. The Eating of them is banned on the Singapore subway. Tells you all you need to know. That's all I need to know. Something like balut, I guess. James Franklin, appreciate all you do for us. I know we can be a worrisome lot. Let's see. Sinful says Andrew CJ. Depending on where you're living, you can get fiber that is fast and very reliable. At least being my experience. Russell Watts, Greg Medborn. Exactly my thoughts. We need to have patience. Um, Tony P says last station of LRT is in Beclaren. Let's see. Are you talking about the train, the LRT, or are you talking about the bus? I think you're talking about the train, because the train doesn't come near here. Because we have tons of buses here, and when you say LRT, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Still a long way there, building a line extension. Okay, yeah, he's talking about the train, I think. They're adding extensions. I was just reading about that the other day. Andrew CJ says, I day trade Australian market mooring for about 30 times, so need quality around 8 a.m. only. So we got about 99 people, 70 thumbs up. Element says light rail train extension. Their last station is in Dasma. How far are you from there? From Dasma, I'm not that far at all. Actually, you know what? I've seen that station there. It's right near De La Salle, I believe. It's not too far from there. It's a little bit of a ride, probably about half hour, depending on the traffic. Then from there you can jump in a jeepney or two to get over here to Tracy. It's not that bad. Winston Herring Jr. says, good evening there. Great chats. Miss only a few. Brooks Knight says, buy more Bitcoin. I am cashing in my Florida home for more. There you go. Sinful says, Brooks Knight, I need to up my Bitcoin amount. Going to go back. Let's see, Tony P. My Converge gives me 300 Mbps per Zig City. Greg Medborn says, Steve, glad you're out of ARC. Kathy was spot on when small and mid caps were king. Problem with Kathy is she does not adapt. I think she adapts because she still has Apple and she uses Apple as cash because she can't run her accounts like a mutual fund where you can have cash on the side. She can't do that, so she has to use the other accounts. So she uses those ones to buy other things that are low, and then later on she'll have them all. So later on when it does come back, it'll come back in a huge way. I think. I believe she's doing the right thing. I just think it could go lower, So, but I think that those accounts are good investments for the long term. Long term meaning 8 to 10 years. Lazy Larry says, at Brooks Snyder, never gamble more than you can afford to lose. Andrew CJ says, anything above 15 MBS does the trick. We have about 100 right here. Randy Smith says, good morning, buddy. Looking forward to meeting the Expat group one day. Randy, if you ever want to join us, man, feel free to join us. You can join us for sure. We'd love to have you in our group. Anybody that wants to join our group, if you send me if you email me your name and your email address and your phone number, we will send you information for our monthly get-togethers. And anybody in this area is welcome to join. I just don't want to have people that say that they're going to join and they never show up. I mean, as long as you show up like once every 6 months or something, I'm okay with that. We'll keep you on the list. So, Randy Bryant says, my son Nathan is wondering what the basketball competition is like over there. I'm not really sure. I'm not up on basketball over here at all. I really couldn't answer that. Runs with Knife says, I won't be coming until my dog passes and I pay off some things. Okay, let's see. Tony P says, Randy Bryant, Filipinos are crazy about. Yes, they are. Yeah, there's a lot of basketball shirt stores around here, man. Let me tell you. Sinful says, runs with knives. I brought my dog with me. Could never have left her. Andrew CJ says, average gym cost per month. That's a good question. I'm not, I was a member down the street, but I don't know what their current costs are right now, so I really can't quote you on it. I wish I could. We have Titan Fitness right down the street, but there's other gyms around here, and it really depends on what they have for equipment. Some have pools, some don't have pools, some will have pools, some have high-end equipment. Titan Fitness is a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones, but I will just say this, okay? I'll say that it depends on the gyms. Okay, it really does. They have Filipino gyms, and then they have ones that So, do you take Phil Amps? Yes, absolutely, Element. Yes, we have. I want to say this out loud because a lot of people think we're just an American group, and we're really, really not. We have Filipinos that are in our group too. Um, we have Glenda in our group, and we have Pax, and they're invited to go to our things too. We also have other not expats. We have other Filipinos too, but yes, Philams are absolutely invited. Yes, we have had a couple people ask. They haven't joined yet. Hopefully they do. Thomas John says, "Are you big on using sunscreen?" No, because right now we're in the rainy season. But yes, during the sunny weather, if I'm out down in Batangas or something, yes, absolutely. Brooke Schneider says, "Fiat money is going to be worth less every month. You hold it. Inflation is worldwide." Yes, and it's really bad right now. Runs with Knives says, "Sinfuls, I saw you say that last week. I think the amount of dollars to bring him is a bit much for me." Amphibav says, "Are Filipinos quietly quitting? Did you quietly quit a long time ago?" I'm not sure what you're saying. Sinfuls, well, to be fair, I spent a lot on her kennel custom to make sure she was safe. It was $1,500. Lazy Larry says, Brooks Snyder, some money is better than no money. Andrew CJ says, anything under $30 a month for gym, I'm happy. I think it's probably more than that to go to Titan Fitness, but there's another gym nearby. You can, and you can also pay a daily fee if you only go in there like a couple days a week or something like that. We also, around us, we also have the park that you can go to and you can walk around the park. James Franklin says, if you like Tesla stock, then look into buying a battery stock because Elon Musk will be buying a lithium battery company to have everything in-house. Probably. I agree with that. Andrew CJ, average coffee at coffee shop price. I don't drink coffee, I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm not sure. Probably about 50 pesos, somewhere around there at like Dunkin' Donuts and stuff like that here. I'm guessing. I think it's the same as a hot chocolate, and I think a hot chocolate is about 50 pesos if I remember correctly. So it's not that it's about $1. Every man repeats a story. Would love to interview you if you come to Dumaguete. I don't go to Dumaguete though, unfortunately, man. I stick around Luzon pretty much. Rennie Smith says, we are still living in the United States, but we just bought tickets to come back to Philippines for 7 weeks this December. It's been since 2019. Can't wait to celebrate Christmas and New Year's. Sounds like a good trip. Let's see. Brooks Snyder says, Brownwood Gym owned by Westerner. Full gym with hot showers and lovely pool for 1,800 pesos a month. So there's your price on there. That's not a bad price actually. And I'm sure he has daily fees too. Tony P, Andrew CJ, fitness first starts at 1,550 pesos. Michael L, quietly quitting refers to the movement of doing only the bare minimum at one's job. Okay. Andrew CJ, Pilgrim, I haven't heard that. I've never heard that before. Okay. Pilbara Minerals on ASX, amazing value right now. Andrew CJ, target is 520. Runs with Knives, the Sinfuls, I'm okay with waiting because when I come over, I don't want anything to hold me back from traveling. Sinful says, Runs with Knives, understand for me, I cannot be without a dog too much of my life. Off the Beaten Path says, we are 40 weeks till we fly. We'll just go with the clothes on our back. That's sometimes the way to go, man, if you can. But you do need some stuff with your paperwork and things like that. Randy Brown, what airlines would you recommend when I come? I would recommend United or Philippine Airlines. Okay, I would not travel any of the other ones like China Air and stuff like that. I travel with them, and they're very hard traveling with them. It's cheap, but man, I saved a lot of money traveling with them. But I just didn't like it at all, Freddie C says, moving to Cebu in November. Target is $1,500 a month. Craig Jordan, Randy Bryant, not Philippine Airlines. Too many rules than other airlines. Okay, Craig's got a different opinion. It's a matter of opinion. I like United and American Airlines. if you can travel with them. And there are other ones too that you can go on. Anyone but any of them but the Chinese airlines, I would say. You know, guys, I'm gonna call it early tonight because I got allergies. I know we're up to about 60 minutes and stuff like that, but I'm gonna call it an early night tonight. We'll be on next week. Also, I want to talk about this real quick before you guys leave. When Justin gets back, if he's willing, I'm thinking about having Justin maybe come on here and do a live chat each week too, or maybe twice a week. Justin is very interesting to talk to. He's a lot of fun, and you guys will also have somebody else to watch on here too, on our channel, by the way. So we might. I'm still gonna do my obvious live stream every Saturday night, but I might have Justin do one in the middle of the week or something like that. So it might be kind of a fun thing to do, and you'll get different opinions on here about things. Okay. Nathan Bryan says, "What is the best thing to do in your opinion?" I'm not sure what he's referring to. Let's see. Thomas Jones says, "I did a $1,500 a month in Cebu, staying at Airbnbs." Brooks Snyder, thanks, Steve-O. We'll chat with you soon. All right, guys, I'm gonna let you guys go. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. God bless. I know it's a short night tonight, but my allergies are just eating me up tonight. But I just wanted to come on here, and we will talk soon. We'll probably be on here next week. And like I said, as soon as Justin gets back here, maybe we'll have somebody else on here during the midweek, and we'll have two people on the channel talking instead of one. But I want to have him on here to give like a different perspective. So when you guys have questions and stuff like that. But God bless, guys. Take care.